For those of you who are new, hi and welcome. I have a penchant to review films openly and with spoilers, so movie reviews usually post during the weekend after the film's been released. But now that we've seen the film and our little hearts are full of joy and love and wonder, let's talk about the best DCEU film thus far. Because 5 advanced screening invites later, I finally got to see Wonder Woman. So is the hype legitimate? Yes, Wonder Woman is an emotional, action-packed, romantic, and uplifting wonder. And to be honest, I had genuine concerns. Not necessarily because of the problems with previous DC films, but more so this, alongside Aquaman, is one of the more difficult pieces to translate. Not just because of the intrinsic elements of the mythology, but also you have conflicting origin stories that need to coalesce in order to ring true to the source material, while also breathing life into what could have been too fantastical for mainstream audiences to stomach. But because this film is laced with themes of empowerment and idealism and embedded with an undercurrent of hope and optimism, it becomes a triumph that DC needed, the audiences wanted, and that fans of the character will adore. And thank God this is a film that need not rely on goodwill alone. It's a good movie, a great war film, and an epic standalone superhero flick with probably the best treatment they could have done for the character, especially for Wonder Woman that intentionally subverts conventional thought on what makes someone a hero. It's not aggression, and sure, you have to have the will to throw down and fight if need be, but it's about approaching things from a perspective of compassion and empathy first. A great example is Spud when he has his moment of PTSD and can't fire. Diana doesn't berate him or tell him to get his checks together. She encourages him and is empathetic and builds trust and loyalty with that character in the Who Will Sing For Us scene. Speaking of which, did you notice that the palette shifted with each new setting, and as the tone of the film darkened, so too did the visual theme and design? It's those intricacies and details that elevate this film from being simply another entry in some superhero cinematic catalog and it into being a great film without qualifiers. Now, is this one of the best films of all time? Maybe, probably to some, but is it rewatchable? Good golly gee willikers, yes, and it even impacts Batman v Superman's rewatchability as well. And I love the tie-ins, such as the photograph introduced in BVS serving as the framing device for the film, bookending it, but also the smaller elements such as the glasses, which not only serves as a nod to the comic where she meets that nurse that looks like her with glasses being the differentiating factor distinguishing the two, but also Etta Candy's snarky retort about how clearly glasses will make her less beautiful to look at is a perfect riff on Superman's Clark Kent persona, and that speaks to a rare self-awareness of the film in relation to its genre. By the way, more Etta Candy and her new trio of merry men in the sequel, please. Those actors, and Robin Wright and Connie Nielsen, all their performances were great, or above average, shall we say. And that cheeky child that played young Diana was epic and hilarious. And speaking of comedy, I love the scene where Diana tries ice cream for the first time and she tells the vendor that he should be very proud. That is straight from the comics in the animated film, and it's small moments like that not only tips the hat to comic book fans by respecting and understanding the material, but plays well with the general movie-going audience at large. Now, I do have some problems with the film, such as the 2 scenes shared between the villains. I felt that their acting was too over the top, but the remainder, in terms of flaws, are really nitpick-level gripes with the film, like Ares' mustache, and the CGI in bits and places, but I hope DC just stays done with the shiny. This is good to render textured animations, and that seems to be a reoccurring theme with DC, not necessarily the emphasis of the CGI, but more the execution of it, right? Because when it's embedded well, you don't notice it. And I think that use of practical armor on Thulis without the mustache would have quelled the concerns levied against the third act. And Jeff Johns and John Berg, much kudos and praise, because this is, allegedly, their first outing where they supervise and exercise control over the behind-the-scenes trajectory of the project, and even Zack Snyder deserves a hand, who not only introduced Wonder Woman and cast Gal Gadot, but also helped craft this film's story. But I have to give major props to who I believe held the vision and is truly the centerpiece of this film's success, and who I hope wields more influence over the direction of the DCEU moving forward. Patty Jenkins directed the Jehoshaphat's out of this film. I mean, the visuals, the tone, the aesthetic, and the action sequences were incredible and ingenious in the way that she seamlessly shifts gears between comedy to concern to combat and then chagrin. She made the story cohesive, intelligent, and fluid, and captured the dynamics and intensity of the action sequences. And all the while, she does something so difficult to do in a genre movie, and that is that she injected an emotional resonance to the point that people outright cried at my screening when Steve Trevor sacrificed himself. Patty Jenkins made the those scenes palpable. But unlike previous DC films, where the level of grim left many an audience member in this distress and malaise, she uses that sorrowful, harrowing moment as the catalyst for Diana's transition from naive questioning, if not doubting fish out of water, into this powerful, purposeful, heroic demigod embracing her duty to defend the Earth. And it's because she brought out these sterling performances from Gal Gadot and Chris Pine that this movie can hit home. And I'll just say what I said on Patreon: give Patty Jenkins anything she wants, whether it be Wonder Woman 2 or Justice League 2. Patty Jenkins isn't just an insightful, adept, passionate filmmaker, but she's a genius miracle maker to root for. She's a talent that DC needs to hold on to. And yes, Wonder Woman's success is clearly due to a coherent and cohesive and collaborative team effort, but that came about because of the leadership of this film. And Wonder Woman is a success because of the direction of Patty Jenkins. And I'd like to give a shout out and a genuine sincere thank you to our Patreons of this month. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And remember, please subscribe so that you're notified in your newsfeed when the next video is uploaded. Please remember to give this video a like and share it about and help support this channel through Patreon and using any of the affiliate links in the description below. You people are awesome, as always. And thanks for watching.